Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about normalizing our data, removing duplicates, and exporting our data. This video is going to be a bunch of topics that don't really make sense to make into their own videos, so they got grouped together into this video. So to start us off, we'll of course import pandas, load in this mental health survey that we've been working with, survey 2 this time, which I added some duplicate values to this so we can learn how to clean that up. And then we'll look at the head of mental health again, our mental health data frame. We've already looked at this before. So let's talk about normalizing values now. The reason we do this, well, normalizing values basically means to take a range of values and pack it down from -1 to 1, or 0 to 1 if you only have positive values. And kind of take a large range and squeeze it down. What this will do is it'll help with using our data later. Particularly if we want to train some machine learning model, we don't want certain values with a particularly large spread of numbers to have an undue impact on our machine learning models. So that's one reason we need to do some normalization. For example, if we have an age variable that might range only from 0 to 100 or so, and then an income variable might range much more. There might be some super high outliers in income, or a group of people that make lots of money, and that could and a group of people that make very little money, and that could dramatically have an impact on our machine learning model and cause the age variable to kind of get overshadowed. But by packing both of them from -1 to 1, we can make sure that all our variables or all our columns are treated more equally. So to start actually doing this, let's first get some libraries we're going to use. We're going to use this isNumericDataType function, because it doesn't really make sense to normalize a categorical variable. It only makes sense to normalize numeric variables like our age column. So what we're going to do after that is we're going to take every column in mentalhealth.columns. We're going to check if that column is actually numeric. Then we're going to set, if it is, we're going to set it equal to itself divided by the absolute value of the largest number in that data frame. So if it ranges from 0 to 255, we divide it by 255. And what that'll do is pack everything down from -1 to 1. And then we'll look at what that looks like. Let's run that. You see age is now giving us some pretty small numbers here, e to the -10. That's pretty small. So let's look at the min and the max of age to make sure that we got this right. And yep, the largest is 1, exactly what we want. And the smallest is a very small number, e to the -11. This implies that we have some really big numbers in our age column, which we explored in previous videos. And we're still getting to a point where we'll learn how to deal with that, but not in this video. We're just going to move on and worry about that later, those really high outliers in age. Next thing we need to talk about is removing duplicated values. So the first step in removing duplicated values, or duplicate rows, is to just know that they're there. And a duplicate row, of course, is two rows or more that have the exact same values in them. So let's use a mask like we've done before with this duplicated method. And that's going to return true falses for all of the spots where there's a duplicate. Let's actually look at mask too. So we have a bunch of false and then a few trues in there where there was a duplicate. So, the mental health of that mask. Now I have a table where there's just duplicate rows. Notice we're not getting, both the duplicates. We're just getting, one of each duplicate. Then we can use this drop duplicates method once we know that there are duplicates. And then we'll check to see if there are any duplicates again. Hopefully there won't be. And we have an empty data frame, so there are no duplicates. We did it. We dropped the duplicates. Go us. The last thing we need to talk about is exporting data. This is really important. Once you've done all your data cleaning and cleaned up your data set, made it all pretty, you actually want to be able to use it later. Maybe send it off to your boss and make them super happy with your impressive data cleaning skills. So to do this, you're going to need to export it or save it as a file. The simplest way to do that is to simply use your data frame name .toCSV, kind of the reverse of read CSV, and then give it a name. So let's do that. Doesn't look like much happened, but let's check our file explorer. Give me a second. There we go. And in here we now have mental health, which is what we named our data frame. Now, if we actually look at mental health, we might see something a little surprising. The main thing I'm talking about here is the fact that we have this unnamed column right here. This is the index that's being saved. So we don't want that. So let's try again, but we'll do index equals false. Now I still have this mental health, but it's been overridden. And now we don't have that unnamed column, so that's great. But we may not want to just say this is a CSV. It may be better for us to say this as an Excel file for whatever reason. Maybe your employer wants that instead of a CSV file. So we can just do toExcel, ending with an XLSX extension. We'll also use index equals false. And let's look at what that looks like. Where'd it go? Oh, maybe is this? Nope, that's not it. Should be another mental health file now. It may be an issue that I named it the same thing. Let's try that. Mental health 2. Let's close this and reopen it. There we go. I just need to close and reopen the file. Folder, I mean. And there we go. We have an Excel file. Great. So that's really it for this video. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.